You're an errand girl, sent by grocery clerks to collect a bill. Because we watched Season 8, Episode 8, The Chicken Roasters. How did you like The Chicken Roasters?
Did Gamble and Prost write this?
Gamble and Prost did not write this.
Oh.
You are going to be shocked. Shocked, I say, in a minute or two. This episode was written by Alec Berg and Jeff Schaefer. Directed by Andy Ackerman. It aired on November 14th, 1996. Vulture.com ranked it as the 57th best episode.
What? Is this the part where I'm shocked?
No. Screen Crush ranked it as the 71st best episode. IMDb has this episode, Season 8, Episode 8, The Chicken Roasters.
It can't be the 8th best episode.
It's not the 8th best episode.
What?
What? It's the 18th best.
18th? Jeez, no.
Then 8.9 out of 10. As a reminder to our listener, the IMDb rankings were fan voted.
Yeah.
So
fans are stupid.
This episode has a lot of memorable things, right? Like you hear the Chicken Roasters, you're like, oh yeah, the light was shining into Kramer's apartment. Jerry was acting like it. Rat Hat. Apocalypse Now. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Costanza.
Look, I did laugh a couple of times.
I marked out. You laughed when George said,
"By Menon."
By Menon. You laugh when Kramer says, "Oh, your friend Seth stopped by." Yeah, he was fired.
That was a good classic Kramer delivery. Like, okay, this episode, you asked me if I like it and I didn't answer. The answer is no. However, there were some good moments. Mm-hmm. I wrote down, all starches are a scam.
That's a very good line, which I did not remember, like throwaway line from an opening. That one of the reasons that I don't like going to Italian-American restaurants is you go there and they're going to serve you
11-cent pasta.
Yeah, 15 cents worth of pasta with a quarter cup of tomato sauce with a quarter teaspoon of salt and some garlic, and then some Parmesan cheese grated on top, and charge you $17.
Yeah,
I'm with George. All starches are a scam.
Especially ziti, those big holes.
I didn't really like, so when I lived in Thailand, there was a lot of haggling.
Yeah.
Like, not in stores, but in like stalls and stuff like that.
So over starches? They're like, rice is $1, and you're like, no. And they go, okay, 50 cents?
No, not in stores. You wouldn't haggle. Like, if you're in a store and it has like a price, but if you go to like a market.
Oh, okay. I'm picturing a food market.
I remember this one guy got really mad at me.
Because you haggled?
Because I haggled.
Oh. Were his prices posted?
And then in Thai, I told him that his price was too expensive. And he got very upset.
Oh, I thought then that would have earned him his respect.
So because I could speak Thai, they like... I think I got cheaper prices because they were like, oh, this guy doesn't... Or at least I knew how to negotiate enough in Thai to say like...
How do you say that's too expensive?
Peng pai.
Now I know how to negotiate in Thai. How do you say stop farting?
Our daughter was watching a YouTube video about like somebody going to a food market in Thailand, and she was like, food in Thailand is very cheap. We should go there.
And then you made Thai food and she's like, I don't like this.
She said she liked it.
How much of
she
it
did call
she
it slop.
Yeah. I really liked it.
Well,
what's going on? What happened? Where are we?
All starches are a scam.
We have to go. We can't talk about the episode. You have to tell me who the guest stars are.
Oh, okay, sure. Mark Roberts played Seth. He was in 2.5 Men, Mike and Molly, and The Naked Truth.
He has like a weirdly generic familiar face.
Yeah, he kind of looks like
He looks like the bad guy in like a ski movie.
who's that guy from the Tao of Steve? Tao of Steve.
Steve Zahn? Whatever.
Who's the guy, one of the members of the Vampire Council from What We Do in the Shadows?
I was thinking he looks like the singer of Offspring.
Dexter something?
Yeah, sure.
Can correct that. Sure. So that was Mark Roberts played Seth. Michael D. Roberts played Ipswich.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they're related.
Hmm.
He was in Hostage, A Star is Born, and Rain Man. Kimberly Khalil played Heather. She was in Coldbrook, Misery Loves Company, and Jerry Maguire. I also looked up because in a lot of her pictures on IMDb, she is with William Fichtner, and they are married.
Who's that?
You would recognize him if you saw him.
Oh, William Fichtner.
Yeah.
Obviously.
He's a famous actor, director.
Okay.
He directed a miniseries on Tiger King called Joe and Carol. Remember Tiger King? Remember when Tiger King was a thing? Remember when that was?
It was the
simpler
monoculture.
times?
Everybody watched Tiger King at the same
God.
time.
Yeah.
When you said he made a docuseries on Tiger King, I really thought you were going to say Thai food stalls.
Oh no.
He could have. That would have been
know.
a 360 moment there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's throw it back to last week when I asked if you remembered this episode. And?
I think I nailed it.
Okay, so the synopsis. A Kenny Rogers Roasters restaurant opens in the area. Elaine gets audited by Peterman for excessive spending. George tries to retrieve a Russian hat.
Those things happened.
They sure did. I didn't love the Elaine storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know, maybe because she wasn't owning it. Like, she should have just fired the accountant, right? She's the president.
Isn't the president allowed to do anything they want?
Yeah. It was...
According to the Supreme Court, yes.
Exactly.
We did have a continuity error
Mm-hmm.
where she bought a water pick, but previously, and Jerry seemed surprised when he found out that she had a water pick, but previously we knew that she had a...
Water pick, plaques, floss, brush, Listerine.
Yeah.
I didn't really like George in this episode either, because I felt like he went too far into like pathetic George.
Mm.
It wasn't smarmy George. He was like, I don't know, too much. So later on, I didn't write a lot of notes for this episode. 3/4 of the way through my notes, I just wrote hacky.
Mm. What was hacky?
Mr. Marbles.
Mm.
Jerry going, don't let Newman use my flush bathroom. Newman cross-eyed drinking the honey mustard to get rid of the broccoli taste. And then Jerry in bed going, home at last. Like, just, it wasn't good.
Mm. Maybe because those things weren't rooted in reality. Would you like to know the storylines that were rooted in reality?
Okay.
So, Alec Berg and Jeff Schaefer did meet a friend on the streets of New York City and convinced him to go to lunch. And then he had blown off a big meeting of some like deal he had just set up and got fired.
Okay.
There was really a lawsuit between a law firm and a Kenny Rogers Roasters, not because light shined into the law office, but because they vented their chicken smell and they really put a sign outside their window that said bad chicken. Jeff Schaefer's brother did have light from a hotel across the street shine through his windows and like illuminate his apartment and keep him up at night.
Mm-hmm.
So those are real things that happened. And then Apocalypse Now is a
real thing that happened.
Well, it's based off a book. Is the book based off real life? It could be.
I mean, the Vietnam War was real.
Yep. I mean, sure, yeah.
There was a moment when Jerry first sees the light coming through Kramer's door and knocks on his door. The orange red light is coming in and the hallway is lit in like blue and purple. And it made like a really beautiful like portrait of Jerry. Lit one side in like hot red and the other side in like cool purple.
Interesting. I was reading an article online and it wasn't about like the 4K edit. It was about the color mixing of Seinfeld on Netflix. And they were complaining about it's too, I don't know, contrasty or tony or something.
I thought it looks kind of dull.
Could be.
Maybe just in comparison to TV now.
Yeah.
I mean, we are only watching one episode a week, but I think I am overloaded on Seinfeld.
That's the cadence of which the
I know, but it's too much. I feel like if maybe there were a couple weeks of reruns, I would be craving something new, and then just because this was new, I would find it funnier.
I didn't even want to record tonight. You wanted to record tonight.
I want to release on schedule, okay? I'm sorry. Our fan depends on us to put this podcast out on Thursdays. Like the show came out on Thursdays.
Yeah, and that's the reason that we've always done it on Thursdays, because we thought about it before the podcast started. We thought, wouldn't it be great if it came out on Thursdays?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're saying that like that's not what we did. It's exactly what we did.
Yep, it is exactly what we did.
What is this? What's going on here?
The other thing of note, I have to say, I don't get like disgusted by like visual things very much.
Yeah.
Kramer eating chicken in bed, both times that we see it.
Yeah.
It might have been the most like slovenly display of gluttony.
It's because it's so greasy.
And he's wiping it on the sheets and like, just like
rocking back and forth
like a
and
psychopath.
And his mouth is wide open, full of chicken. Like there's no TV eating. He's really eating it all.
Fun fact, he was not.
No.
And he was, quote unquote, practically a vegan at this point in his life and would only put the skin in his mouth and would spit it out between takes.
The skin is the best part. Huh. Okay. Of all the choices Michael Richards has made, he's not going to eat chicken. He's not going to eat chicken on TV for a chicken roasting episode. Come on.
Apparently, before the episode aired, Kenny Rogers did not approve the draft with the rat hair flying all over the restaurant. And so Alec Berg and Jeff Schaefer promised to change it and then just couldn't think of anything else.
That sounds about right. I was going to ask about the whole Kenny Rogers of it all. Did they get like a sales bump from this?
I don't know if they got a sales bump from this. Apparently, the company like really celebrated the fact that it was involved in Seinfeld, and they had like some company Seinfeld like costume day at work.
Like in the restaurants?
I don't know if it was like corporate or whatever. I tried to follow the link to the newspaper article, and it was a dead link.
It's from 1993.
Something. Kenny Rogers himself apparently was like really happy and like was like, oh, this is great publicity to have it involved, even though there was rat hair in the restaurant everywhere.
Well, he is the gambler.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the story about the gambler.
My family has a special affinity
ritual
for the gambler, because when I was a young baby and I had an allergy to milk, an undiagnosed allergy to milk, and I would break out in hives. But my parents didn't know why. They would just try to calm me down by the only thing that worked was playing Kenny Rogers the Gambler. So they just put that record on repeat. I think it was on vinyl. So they would like find the place and like how hard it is to find a song. I think we have 2 copies of Kenny Rogers.
They needed a backup in case one got damaged and nothing could calm you down.
I bought one at a garage sale several years ago. And not realizing that it was a copy that my dad had given me when he gave us his vinyl collection.
Do you remember when Kenny Rogers Roasters was on, I want to say Islington?
I've never gone to a Kenny Rogers Roasters.
I've never gone, but it was, I think, the same building where Rocco's Plum Tomato was. Oh, we talked about that place. It was like set way back from the road. Had a huge parking lot. I think that was at Kenny Rogers Roasters at one point.
Did it have a large neon sign?
No. It didn't really have any of that neon signage. Was that their normal, like, store front?
My only reference to Kenny Rogers is a 1996 episode of Seinfeld.
The wood makes it good.
Out vile weed.
So I did laugh when Jerry asked his friend, "Whatever happened to Moochie? He's dead." Like there's little bits in here that are keep stringing me along, and then there's long stretches of Kramer messily eating chicken, or Jerry like Scooby-Doo covers up to his chin, Mr. Marbles.
Do you think Jerry Seinfeld did a better Kramer than Michael Richards doing a Jerry Seinfeld? Who do you think did the other person better?
I liked them both because I like subdued Kramer. So subdued Kramer equals Jerry, I guess. And I liked Jerry's Kramer at the start, and then it got a bit much, just like Kramer does. So I guess he did a good job.
There you go.
My friend Bob Sacamano.
I thought it was Kramer's friend.
Well, he called me at 3 a.m.
We got to talking. He sells Russian hats down at Battery Park.
Rats are very silky. We both had pet rats.
Nutria's a very large rat, though.
Yeah.
So apparently this was a real thing that they would sell in like the Moscow Square Nutria hats, but they would fall apart when they got wet.
Wait, Moscow Square?
In Russia.
Oh. I thought like Little Moscow in New York.
No.
Okay.
They might do that there too, but in actually...
I have a continuity error.
Do you?
The exterior shot of Monk's Cafe, which is Tom's restaurant. There's a missing E in restaurant, and sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not.
Oh.
I noticed it last time too, so I wasn't sure if it was just now permanently gone. But in this episode, it's there and then it's gone.
Ah. Maybe it's like the other face of the restaurant?
No. Same face. Same face.
Like it doesn't light up or it's not there?
It's just not there.
Restaurant? Like which E?
The first E.
R-E-S?
There's only one E in restaurant. How many R's in strawberry?
Oh my God. Google Gemini. Did I play the clip for you?
No.
Oh, it didn't save it.
Were you asking it about Guy Lafleur?
No. I was asking it about strawberry. And it couldn't spell strawberry. The last word. So, like, it made it clear why it thinks it gets the incorrect number of R's in strawberry.
So we have to explain. If you ask a large language model how many R's in strawberry, it doesn't give you the right answer.
Let's see if we can do this live. How many R's are in strawberry? It keeps saying hours.
Strawberries don't have hours like time does.
God damn it.
And don't contain any timekeeping mechanism.
Oh. God.
How many R's are in? Nope. Nope.
This today,
Cancel.
our kid was saying that
Sorry, I can't help with that. You can adjust media playback using the controls on your device.
How many R's are in? No.
There are no hours and no.
oh my god. Hey Google.
How many of the letter R are in strawberry?
There is only one A in strawberry.
God damn you, stupid fucking shit.
Australian assistant got it right.
Mm.
It's 3, right? It has me doubting how many R's are in strawberry.
This isn't interesting. I'm just going to cut all this out.
No. We have no content for this episode because it's so bad.
How many R's? No.
Why does Jerry have a pitcher of tomato juice in his fridge?
For a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been updated and I got it right. So now it doesn't even make any sense. So now you have to cut it out.
Okay. I also laughed when George walks in wearing the hat and he says, "Why didn't you get the big one?"
Why was he wearing a tie?
Big hat, tie, no jacket. It's a look.
With like a plaid shirt?
Yeah. I think the season 8 episodes are ranked highly because they have 3 or 4 peak jokes.
Mm.
And the rest of it is forgettable, but it doesn't matter. People remember.
I think that
Yeah.
too, there's like recency bias. Like there's big, there's like big moments that like, oh, you remember that episode because of.
Yeah. Yeah. My theory with The Simpsons is that it became unwatchable when every episode had a long musical interlude.
Yeah.
And I really felt like they just couldn't write something clever.
Enough content?
Yeah.
Can't write enough for a 20-minute show.
No.
Here's a 5-minute song.
Well, it started to be every episode had like a montage set to music with no talking. And I don't know, I feel like season 8 is Seinfeld's like, well, we've got 3 jokes and we've got to fill the rest of the time with something.
So do you think George Costanza was the first man to invent the Trojan horse as a way of getting a second date?
No.
I feel like this is a standard play by guys.
Oh, I've done it too.
With whom?
Not you.
Clearly.
Why? I didn't need a Trojan horse with you. We clearly got along.
She said, "Call me if you have the time."
Have you used the Trojan horse?
No.
Oh.
Once I get the first date, they're in.
That's all I have.
Yeah, kind of me too.
I have corrections from last week, though.
Oh, okay.
It's a big one.
Within, I think, I feel like 4 hours of the podcast being published, this correction came in.
Yeah. I'm pretty embarrassed.
As like somebody once described you as like the number one Canadian fan, like fan of Canada.
I think that was just referring to the fact that I like the Tragically Hip. But okay.
Tom Thompson.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 2 things.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so yes, my best friend referred to me as Canadiana. So what? So I didn't know that Raffi was Canadian. Sorry.
Okay.
Was and still is. He looks a lot like Fred Penner.
Yeah.
So I know Fred Penner's Canadian. I don't know why I know that. I was like, no. We're mixing it up. Raffi's too popular to be Canadian.
Once you reach a certain popularity height, you have to be American.
I just assumed.
Okay.
We also talked about mizzen pans. You brought up mizzen pans for some reason.
We were talking about all-clad pans.
Oh.
And then I said
right.
that mizzen pans are on sale. For Black
Another
Friday.
correction. I looked up mizzen pans. They're garbage.
Oh, okay. Well, I said that Instagram is
Yeah.
like...
So I I researched the correction, and they fall apart, and the nonstick coating comes off immediately. And yeah, they're trash.
Okay. I haven't bought one.
Good. My last correction was just about Brett from last episode. You didn't look up who he was.
Oh, yeah.
The Desperado fan.
Mm-hmm.
So he's played by James Patrick Stewart. Why'd you make a face?
Patrick Stewart.
Yes. And also James Patrick is another actor.
Uh-huh. This is a Wheel of Fortune before and after.
Yeah. So you wouldn't recognize him from anything, but he's been on an episode of every show. He's a very prolific voice actor. He was a voice in Diablo 3.
Oh, wow.
I don't know which one. But he was on 167 episodes of All My Children and 650 episodes of General Hospital.
Wow. It's a lot of soap operas.
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because at work, in a company-wide chat, our CEO, somebody was like, they were giving a presentation together, and one person was going to control the slides. So they said, "Oh, can you be my Vanna White?"
Uh-huh.
And then the CEO came in and said, half the people in this call don't know what Wheel of Fortune is. And then I just put in chat, treat yourself a round of sausage.
Did anybody get it?
I don't think so.
What is the real thing?
Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah.
I also considered putting in the future. I'm only here to entertain myself.
Yep.
I have another correction or confirmation. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes did cover Desperado. Yes. And I realized why I sing it all the time.
Why?
It's because when we drive from Ottawa to Toronto, we pass by the town Deseronto,
right.
And I sing a song, Deseronto, to the tune of Desperado.
I also realized why I said Linda Ronstadt's Desperado. She did record it, but it's an Eagles song.
Yeah.
And I hate the f***ing Eagles.
Sure, yeah, because of the Big Lebowski.
And Witchy Woman is their song, too.
Okay.
But they were her backing band, so I was almost right. It only became popular after she recorded it.
Okay.
So people didn't like their version.
Witchy Woman or the Desperado?
Desperado.
Yeah, it's like a woman singing to a man, isn't it?
The original lyrics to Desperado were, Leonardo, why don't you come to your senses? And I'm serious. And then while Glenn Frey and the other guy were writing it, they're like, oh, let's change it to like a Western theme. Let's change it to Desperado. So it's going to be
You've been
Leonardo. Why don't you come to your senses?
You've been outriding fences?
I think the lyric came later, but it was definitely Leonardo. Why don't you come to your senses? So saith Wikipedia.
Okie dokie.
Next week is The Abstinence. What's it about?
George's girlfriend gets sick and they can't have sex. She gets sick with like the flu or something, so they can't have sex while she's getting over it.
Can't wait. Well, bye.
Bye. Believe it or not, this is our podcast. Please subscribe at the end. If you subscribed, we would be happy. Please subscribe to us. Believe it or not, it's our podcast.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?